matter what I do, I can't restore the divine order. The refining of the temple of Ra had to boil down to understanding the enemy without seeing it their way. Basically, in the Bible, it ends by saying that the sun and the moon no longer shine on earth. This is alluding to Haru the Pharaoh not seeing on earth. His perspective is not represented on earth in the flesh. It's kind of hard to connect that without Egyptian mysteries and putting the Bible in its proper context and seeing what Jesus is referring to, what he's reacting to, what he's answering, and acknowledging that the Bible is by the bull is kind of like the Book of Mormon. If the Romans had presented the Book of Mormon instead of the Bible, or on top of it, right, everybody would be reading that as well and making the same stupid argument as if the God of this world isn't presenting religion. Why are there so many factions? Why are there so many religions? How can any of these people claim to have the true perspective? Who are they? The same thing that they're trying to attack me with is the problem that they're faced with in trying to legitimize or authenticate themselves, which can't be done because they are fake. Everybody is fake. It is over. So let's look at some of the wordplay as that proves my point. That people are basically like snakes. They can't breed hawks anymore. It seems cruel, but this is the truth, and the truth needs to be said. There are certain scriptures that are true once they're truly understood. And then there are things in the Bible that are irreconcilable, and from any point of view, they must be wrong. Okay? The idea that Jesus, is this good person that brings the truth to this world. Whoever Jesus was is lost in time. The idea of a good person finishing in the Bible by, finishing the process of, coming back and restoring the divine order in this world is false. Jesus is the idea of the ideal man, the perfect man, the Son of God coming back and ruling from earth is never going to happen. That message in the Bible is not true. Revelation, reveal a shun. A shun. The hawk, God, the Pharaoh in his true form. Why is it a shun? Why not a shun? What are they trying to reveal? Right? Gospel, good news, go spell out lexicon. I've gone over this time and time again. Amen as the spell breaker. He gives the people their just deserts. Just according to who? According to Amen Ra. He hides the temple of Ra and he brings the followers of Ra together to be slaughtered. This idea of appealing to your higher nature. Now let's look at what does it mean to be a predator? Their wordplay. The same people that push the Bible. Latin-based language, English. Who pushed the Bible around the world and why? Where does the Bible come from? What is the connection between Rome and England? Once you do your math, Greek, Rome, England, Germany, all these places are connected. Okay, so pray, date, or. So pray that you survive to the date and your offspring. Or what? Right? Pray on your fellow man. And then you get to date. Then you get to plant your seed. Right? Or what? Okay? Predator. Okay? Now what is pray? Backwards. Why erp? Why erp? Erp is the word for wine, I believe, in the Egyptian language. Erp, wine. Wine. So why wine? So they can prey on you. It's right there in the word. Quite often in the wordplay, we see that the word itself answers the word broken down into syllables and letters, etc. Okay, phonetics, anagrams, wordplay, vowel, vowel to L, consonant, Constantine, and so on. Okay, the X, the symbols, letters are symbols, letter, alpha, bet, alpha and omega. Who's going to be the alpha, the bull or the hawk? Well, it's by the bull, and the world has accepted the bull. They've screened out the hawk. Checkmate, right? When Pharaoh can't find a suitable mate and no one stands with him, it's checkmate. No one's there to to kill the enemy before they can kill Pharaoh. That's why they don't, the king doesn't have to be taken off the board. It's done right there, right? That symbolizes you don't have to kill the king. At that point, it's done. We are in the checkmate right now. Okay? Information. Information. And who controls the information? How can anyone sit there like them wrong? Their own wordplay, the same people who are pushing the message. It's Set testifying against himself, just like the principal in Egypt. And what is principal, right? Prince A. Pole. Is it the principle of the bull or the hawk? I mean, just think about it for a second. What is an angel? Is it a bull with wings? Can pigs fly? Well, how the hell could a bull? And what kind of a fool would make that argument? It's stupid, right? Stupid. Okay? And that resembles a dragon. Okay. Now, so we go, time, right? They say this isn't the right time. Add I-E. Okay? Then I may. So if the A settles for the gender-neutral sodomite, with all due respect, perspective, then it's the right time. But that can't be right. That contradicts the Bible itself. Again, it's the con man testifying against himself because, quote unquote, that is how the game is played. That's how you extract the A from society to bring in the gender-neutral world without anyone protesting. That's when the sun and the moon stop shining. The 7 seals, the G for gnosis, geometry, and quote unquote God, the fake God, not the real God. Not Ra, the symbolism of the sun, right? The bright morning star, not the true bright morning star, but the con whore, the min whore, the moon whore, the main whore. Whore being wordplay in that instance, meaning the whore that rode the beast. The golden calf, the bulls, the buffaloes, and all the other variations, the cattle and so on. Okay, so add I-E, then you may, okay, so we're into the principle. Okay, personal. Personnel. What is in your person, right? What is in your being? Which L? So as you see this thing, nobody is from the temple of Haru but me. There are people who are a little bit yellow, so to speak, right? They know how I feel, but their actions are the determinant. The works, the tribute, the tribe at E or the tribe at A. Okay, the interchangeable vowels. Now you have to see that the reason why I'm explaining it this way with these vowels to explain these ideas, I'm not missing anything. I'm overkilling what I've explained for thousands of videos. Okay, there's little discrepancies like, well, the Bible is the refining of the light temple, and vice versa, depending on in what sense you're looking at it. The Bible is explaining their view. This is why he's right. He's right because after generations of following their paths down to the finish, they've revealed themselves 1,000,000 times over. They've revealed the Ashon, revelation. E for evil. E for the female. Now, part of the problem is the female. She could have stopped this process. Because who's against who and why? Naturally, the females are supposed to choose the hawk. Then the bull and everyone else can't win. They couldn't get this far without women's complicity, especially the most attractive women. How many of you think that society would have settled for a bunch of Brujeldas? Women bring out that passion to fight in the first place. Some deceitful, evil, witch-looking harlot. My goodness. What we see is Circe, the Kirk, the church, transforming the temple of light into sheep so they can be slaughtered, not conditioning them, not training them to be hawks and warriors fighting for God. When Gog and Magog make their move, which is from Europe, right? Japheth. Look at Genesis, Magog. Okay, when these people make their move, whatever group of Europeans it was that became dominant and slaughtered the rest, or however it went, no one's there standing with Pharaoh. That's not how it ends. How it ends is they wait for the E, the fake representative of God. Okay, even using the Antichrist becomes a tricky matter. Christ in the Bible represents the con whore, but the idea of Christ being anointed is sound. It's by the bull. It's by the people who killed Jesus. If I killed your family and I kept doing things the same way with the same symbols, and then I tell their story, how can you assume that I'm telling it correctly? It's fucking stupid, right? Stupid. And I name the days of the week pagan days, and I have Christmas named after a pagan festival. Of course, the same people that made so-called Christian holidays pagan holidays. Easter, okay? Christmas, and so on. Valentine's Day, romance. Of course, these people are pagans and not honorable people. Of course, they're scum. Of course, they're going to hell. How could you not see it that way? How could you not see that every religious movement has failed? Every spiritual movement has failed. I am the last. I am it. How could you not see that? Who's doing what I'm doing? Nobody. Who's standing with me? Nobody else. They're giving me little hints in there so I can finish the job. We have vested interest in getting people to stand with me in the end. So if anyone remains who's of God, they come with me, they die with me. Okay? Everyone else is bound. Their bloodlines are sealed. They're stuck here. There's nothing I can do about that. God did not give me the power to overthrow everybody, but to transform people into hawks so they can fly to heaven with me, so to speak, symbolically and in truth. Don't you see? All these people know that this is the case. All these families, deep down, they're ashamed of the women my age. They are disgraced completely. They know that I'm right, and they know their daughters are unworthy. They didn't have the heart to stand with me and to submit to the Spirit of God which flows through me. They know that. They're all having their hoggle moments. Don't you see? You think I like it this way? Oh yeah, I wanted to, I wanted to be like, okay, that's it. It's sealed. And to the Masons, yes. It's all clear here. But first and foremost, to God, yes, I am the last one left. Now, my families did a lot of good things. They stood with me to a high degree. So really, my immediate family is the only real big question mark there is. Are deeds considered? Yes. But you have to always look at it like this. Women are like divine virgins in birth. And how did you contribute to them being raped again and again? To the sins that occurred to them. Part of the, it's a double-edged sword that, if you're a male chauvinist or whatever, that the fact that women, are supposed to submit and only lay with men of God when they're married. It's a double-edged sword. Because you're also supposed to protect them. They're not just only supposed to protect their temple, you're supposed to protect them too. So you say, well, I did this, this, and this. You helped all these criminals rape billions of women every day. You basically didn't lift a finger to stop them. And you're going to say, well, what about I gave to charity? What about I took my son to the ball game? What about I raised my son? You raised your son for who? For whose benefit? What about I go to church? You went to the pack of wolves and helped them sell the idea that they're righteous while women are raped. Billions of women are raped every fucking day. When you weigh the heart, when you weigh the heart to the feather, the principle, did you stand with the prince? Did you lose your life for God in a time where, above all, in the last days? Talk about character is what you do when no one is looking, right? That's one way it's been described. Well, what about when you're not, what about when people are questioning the existence of God and it's the last days? This is it, right? This is it. Last call, My goodness. This is how you find repentance. You die with me. It's sad, and when you look at it, it's like, well, who do you blame? So they talk about, they're resurrected. What do they mean? I'm almost out of time. What do they mean by being resurrected? What are they referring to? They're referring to your bloodline, right? These people who have ancestor worship. They believe that some of these people believe that they literally give birth to someone with the exact same DNA as the ancestors. Part of what the technology, eugenics and so on, to bring back these people a clone, a replica. Okay? They're finding ways to use technology to get people to live forever and to cover up the view of the sun and the moon. And the moon, in its pure form, are the two eyes of Ware. Ware, one of the oldest forms of Haru, also referred to as Horus the Elder, where his left eye is the moon and his right eye is the sun. And the moon is the ideal woman. In terms of romance, it's in line with his heart. His right eye is like his dominant hand, his warrior, his stabbing hand, his penetration hand. His left eye, in this case, is in line with the heart. Who does he love? What is his ideal woman? I guess I have to make a part two.